Hello, hello.
Hello. Hi.
We are back. Lisa has got some questions today. So, again, I don't like to edit. I don't know how to edit. Everything is freestyle here because that's how I think life should be. It's consistent rough drafts. What are we talking about today?
So we're going into the card catalog of Claudia again today. And I've picked out a card to talk to her about, have her share with us her knowledge about our feet, our foundation, and alignment, which are really very important aspect, foundational information for yoga practice for every day. And so I just pulled that card out and asked Claudia to support us on that.
Okay, feet, foundation, and alignment. Feet, foundation. I don't know if you can see that, but let's just see here. Feet, foundation, and alignment. I don't know. We'll pretend you can see it. Feet, foundation, and alignment. Okay. Foundation and feet, they're the same thing. They're the same thing. I think when I look at whatever's happening in someone's neck, their torso, their hips, the first thing that I'm going to look at is their feet. Yes. So, actually, maybe I will take the camera off here for a second. Let's see. Let's set it all on. Okay. So, here we have feet. Feet. 2 feet. We each have 2 feet, right? So just, yeah. All right, so let's switch. I'll put it back on then. Hold on, I was gonna take.
Want me to hold it?
Nope, we're good. All right, so feet.
Okay.
Good, yeah. Okay, so when I look at feet in alignment, I want first to draw a straight line, and then to draw another straight line, right? And so space when we stand. So some styles of yoga will, like Ashtanga, they will bring the feet closer together. So go ahead and just bring the feet where they both line up, touching. So, yep, there we go, where they're touching. So this is going to be a lot of balancing in general for most people. Sciatica. Women have more issues with sciatica than men, but men are really starting to get it a lot of the times because I think they're overseated and then the man's spreading. So when we look at the hips, yeah, I want us to be with our feet hip distance apart. So she's gonna figure out her hip distance apart, and one of the things that we did on one of the other videos is bringing the hands like this and then just kind of putting the hands in between her hands, not my hands. There you go. All right, now the way that she's spaced out here, there is actually a little bit more space from here to here, right, from here to here, so you'll bring that in just a little bit. All right, now if you look to see her, I would like to see, let's go ahead and move your toes up right there. Now, I nitpick, I fine tune. If you go to culinary school, someone's gonna fine tune the food so that you can be the best chef. If you go and you participate in an orchestra, someone's going to need to tune your instrument, whether it's your violin or your cello, even your drums. If you played timpani, the timpani has to be tuned. Our bodies need to be tuned. That's it. And so we tune from here. I want to have the same amount of distance. And I want to, did you wear black on purpose for me?
Must be.
Okay, all right, so we're gonna draw a straight line through. Boom, boom, boom. you have an issue with judging that the line isn't perfectly straight, get over it. We're working on it. We are working on fine-tuning. Yeah, I say that because it's like if I write a newsletter, sometimes I purposely write English, Spanish, or my own version of a word. And, you know, it doesn't always fall right with people, but that's okay. It's okay. Get over it. We can touch it out. Okay, so let's move on. The distance between her heel here and her heel here. Her heel on this foot actually needs to turn out just a tad bit. There you go. So I'm going to draw another line. Okay. Let's see. Now I want her arch of her foot to lift up a little, which means she's going to have to put a little bit more on the outside of the foot. Because when the arch collapses in, then the knee is going to collapse in. I want a little bit more space. Ooh, that naturally forced her to lift up. Now I don't want her to grip with her big toe. I want her to think about pushing down with the first metatarsal and moving the energy out of the toes. So bring your knees in again. Yeah. When I bring the knees out, look how it lifts the arches. You can actually do more, which feels really, really weird, right? But we say weird is good. Weird means that we're on the right track, I think. Now, her foot here can actually turn the toes in just a little bit. So let's turn them. Toes in, heel out, arch lifts. There we go. Okay. Now, this tells me I want neutral hips. So she wants to work her hip flexors that go from here to here when she's walking. Her foundation, again, is all of her roots. How she plants her feet into the earth also goes into the history of our lives. Our parents are our roots, our ancestors are our roots, our siblings are part of our roots. So we want to be connected to the earth like a tree, yeah, and the roots just, so imagine that she's got roots coming out of her feet into the earth, really planting her down. So if I shove her, I don't want her to fall. So this is called the pada bandha, lifting up through the arches of the feet. It's a dome, like a suction cup to the earth. Let me turn this a little bit there. Okay, so if she is heavier on the heels when she walks, she's gonna naturally lock the knees, which means her quads are gonna be stronger than her hamstrings. If she uses the balls of her feet to walk, she's propelling herself forward more, she's going to activate her calves and her hamstrings. The idea is that we use the entire foot. Now the shoes that we use, actually though, they protect us from the elements of the earth, not the elements, yeah? They protect us from the elements. However, they do not allow us to use all of the muscles in our feet properly. Yep. So our feet get stiff. Our toes need to be super flexible, also known as your phalanges. They need to be flexible. You need to be curling them this way and that way and this way and that way. When our heels, when we're heavier on the heels, we can't propel ourselves forward in life, right? So getting the blood going is not the easiest thing. And that's more of like more depression that can sink in. That's my opinion. This is my perspective kind of thing. So you decide what works for you. I'm very much about mine today, aren't I? I think probably because when I met with the physical therapist yesterday, it was just different perspectives that we were talking about and different approaches.
This is your philosophy and your approach to how you talk about foundation and alignment.
Yes, thank you. And so then I think that, people who overuse the toes are too much into the future, too anxious, too moving forward. They have to slow down, because that's the point of the balls of the feet versus the heels. If you, as you get older, if you're heavier on the heels, what happens is the toes lift up. So say you're 80 years old, you're sitting on the couch sinks in. You go to get up, you can't get up. Why? Because you haven't learned how to use the balls of the feet to propel you forward. so you'll fall backwards. If you have a tendency to be heavier on the balls of the feet, or you wear a lot of heels, for example, when you go to get up, you'll fall, more chance of falling forward. We don't want to fall when we get older if we look at it like this. We want to be able to go through life with contentment, without injuries, smooth gait. So I want you to go ahead and turn, actually, yeah, go ahead and turn for me. Just turn that way. Okay, so go step forward. So this line, step back, right here. Okay, so here, I want to draw a straight line. I want her ankle, her knee, and her hip to be lined up. This is chapter 6 in your book, so you know. I want those to be lined up. So if she's heavy on the heels, bring this foot also forward so it's lined up. Yep. So if she's heavy on the heels, her toes will naturally lift up. So go ahead and put more into your heels. Yep. A little bit more into your heels. Okay. Now what I'm going to have you do is you're just going to walk on your heels. So walk. Walk back. See how you lock up? Heavy on the heels. You're also turning the toes out. Stop there. All right. So, do you feel that?
Yes.
Yeah. So the whole body locks. When I work with students who have Parkinson's, their toes come up. It's a lot on the heels. And the quads are usually tight. The hips start to lock up. The shoulders start to lock up because the arms no longer swing. Yeah. So the nervous system just pretty much gets clamped down. The nervous system is what allows your muscles to move. So we want to make sure that, again, not just on the heels. Now I'm going to have Lisa put the weight over to her toes and the balls of the feet. Now you're going to walk. And you can see her body language, it's propelling forward. Turn around. See how your chest naturally moves forward? Yep. And in reflexology, the balls of the feet, let me show you, the balls of the feet are right here. Those are considered the lungs of the feet. Yeah, so it's a lot on the lungs. This is the lower part of the body. This is the upper part of the body. This is the neck. Yeah. This is the pituitary, right in the center of her nail. So we want to do heel, ball of the foot, toes when we walk through life. So foundation. Heel, ball of the foot, toes. So she's rolled to the outside. Heel, use the whole ball of the foot. You're rolling to the outside. Do you notice that?
Yes.
All right, now go back to the chalkboard real quick, please. Okay, can you move that box and starting at the chalkboard so we can get it? I want you to try to, okay. Let's get you a little bit centered with this. Okay, all right, so let's just watch. First of all, her right toes turn out a little bit. So she's gonna have to make sure that she doesn't allow that right leg to constantly externally rotate, or she's gonna have issues with her, where's my finger here? Right there, with her hip.
Which is an issue. I have had an injury here.
Okay.
And this is a common area for me.
To compensate.
Yep.
Interesting. All right. Yeah. So take your toes and turn them in just a little bit. All right, the knees turn out. It feels weird, doesn't it? Yeah. Again, weird is good. So I want her just to walk just to about here. So you turned out. Go again. When you step, you automatically step more to the outside, and then it turns your toes, which means that she's firing muscles in her leg right here. She's firing muscles, and it's the wrong set of muscles. So I want you to think your hip flexor, yeah. And when you step, you've got to use the first metatarsal, yeah. And you're gonna wanna go here, but you're gonna step to the front. So slow motion, right leg up. You've already turned. You've already turned. It's hard. Turned.
What area am I turning?
Your toes out.
Yeah.
Yeah. A little bit better. See how it's hard to use that first metatarsal? You're using a high lunge. But don't let your arch collapse. That's what's happening. Go back. So the habit for her in her life, mine is my left ankle, so I've had to work on that. I'm naturally flexible, which means my ankles go like this, right? And so I had to do a lot of strengthening for me because I would sprain my ankles all the time. And the simple thing to do to strengthen is just move your ankle in circles over and over again, and that breaks up scar tissue, which is really good, and it works all around. So your toes still turned out. Gotta love, yeah, it's tricky, but we've got it. We got this. All right, so I want you to slowly lift up. Yep, so up, bring it down. Okay. So when you propel yourself, right there, you feel that?
Mm-hmm.
Good. Now that's gonna help with the knee and into the hip for stability. So as she lifts up, she's gonna lift up right here, lifting up, yep, and then she's gonna go heel, this lifts up. So she needs more flexibility here. And you were a dancer. So most dancers will have right here, right? The shape of the feet changes little by little as dancers, for dancers. So she wants to practice spreading her toes wide, stretching, 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 stretching as much as she can. And then right here you can see she has turned out a little bit, so we're gonna turn her in.
And I can feel it here.
Yeah.
I'm not used to, it's working this more than I'm used to. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so now she's gonna try to plant her foot down, toes up, yeah, plant, and then toes down. Don't let the arch collapse. I'm gonna press down on her first metatarsal. She's gonna push up, not on this one. Wait, I'm sorry. Yeah, on that one, sorry. That one. Yep, push that one up. Step through. All right, now, here we go. Push down. Ooh, you see how it stretches? Peel it up. So walking meditation is something that I absolutely love because it is a balance act. So for me, I'm here, and you can see from that angle, my right likes to collapse. So I have to consciously awaken it. So I spread the toes, and I'm gonna walk. So when I walk, it is lift my hip flexor up, push down, and you see it automatically wants to do this for me. So I have to be here. You see that difference? So I'm pushing off the ball of the foot. Like that. All right, so I lift up. You see that little lift up? So I push, center, lift up, heel. Don't let this one collapse. Heel, ball of the foot. Don't let my knee turn in. Push the knee. Push off. Ball of the foot. Yeah. Hip flexor. Look, I'm even gonna like chicken scratch. I always think chicken scratch. Lifting up my hip flexor. Heel. Ball of the foot. Push, grounding. Lift up through the arch. Push. Hip flexor. I don't want this to happen. If this happens, I know that here I'm over strengthening my inside calf. I want more balance on my outside calf. So when people are running and they're running like this, and their foundation, they're running like this, right? Or their knees are turned in, it is killing the spine, which is killing the nervous system. And then then the impact of concrete on the body. So we want to think we are using the heel pressing to propel us. It's propelling us forward. Breathing in, breathing out. Breathing in, and it's hard to do. It's a lot of work. I used to walk like this. So then I had to really focus on pushing my heel or my balls of the feet down, and then this started happening. Then I had Victoria, and this happened. And then I had to go here. Oh my goodness, I had to learn my body all over again. So, go ahead.
So, a good way for us to really refocus and get started to that proper alignment is think about all that you're saying, and then we're going to be doing like the walking meditation to really just slowly integrate it into our body.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Because the walking meditation, I mean, we walk through life. We walk not all the time. But we walk to the bathroom. Yeah, we walk up the stairs. That's the other thing. When you go up the stairs and down the stairs, when I work with people at their home, yeah, I do say yeah a lot. Nicoletta's like, you say yeah a lot. Yeah.
It's nice. You're just making sure we're staying with you. Yes, we're with you. It's good. It's good.
You're so good. But when I work with them, it's always interesting when I watch them walk up and down the stairs.
Mm-hmm. As I've been practicing with you in the teacher training, I'm been very aware lately. We're doing quads, hips, and very aware of how I'm lifting, and I've been thinking a lot about it when I'm on the stairs. How I'm propelling. What am I really using to lift?
Mm-hmm.
You know, we've been talking about glutes and abs. I don't think we utilize them enough.
Not enough.
Yeah, and I've been really noticing that in our practice and talking about the anatomy and understanding that better. And it's really lifting me up and making, this is where our strength needs to come from. This is our center of our gravity. Yeah.
Well, center of gravity, so Chinese medicine is the dantian, in yoga it's the heart chakra, right? And so, but our hips carry our upper torso, but our foundation is really what does the carrying of our bodies. Which, if we collapse our torso and we slouch, then, I'm gonna break this down.
And that goes into alignment.
Yeah, that goes, so turn here. So if you slouch, yeah, it's all compressing of the spine. If you lift up, you've just released pressure off of your spine, yeah, and you can breathe better.
And I just feel like I have more energy, like I can meet.
And now let me ask you, how does a heron lift off? How does a bird lift off of a branch? Yeah, the rebound effect. So we have to use that all the time. We know about gravity. They don't talk about the rebound effect that much, but the rebound effect is what pushes us up off of the ground when we push down. Turn your toes in. That's the hard part. Or think your heel out.
Okay.
Yep. So we want to decompress the spine. We want the nervous system to breathe. First, we have to get grounded. We have to know our breathing. Know that with each breath, our lungs expand even more, which means that our hearts are going to open even more, and our posture is going to get better, and it's going to release the pressure. We want the pressure released. Foundation. One really great pose, other than moving your ankles in circles, I think, is hero. Because hero stretches the top, and hero works the back, or hero works the top, or hero stretches the back, depending on the variation of hero. So I'm going to have you use hero as an example. So I want you to go ahead and have your back to us. Okay. And you're going to go into hero. There we go. So she's gone into hero. Wait. And her toes, sorry, I know you were adjusting. Her toes are turned in, which means she's overstretching and she's overworking the inside of her ankle. So she's gonna feel hero differently on her knees. So come on up, and I want there. So that's gonna feel weird. good with your ankle. Just let me know if it's too much. So here, let's see this one. I want to make sure you guys get it. There. She's working the arches of her feet. She's working her calves, which means she's stretching her shins. So if you're heavy on the heels when you're walking, then you want to make sure that this is the variation of hero that you do a lot of. And you can sit on the floor watching TV doing this. You can eat dinner like this position, but not with her butt up, of course. Yeah, if it's too much, because it might be too much, I'm gonna just put that block right there. There you go. Do you feel that stretch on your quads a little bit?
Yep.
Yep. Okay, so she doesn't need to go any further. So you feel the stretch on your shins?
Yeah.
Do you feel the ankles working differently?
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely a big difference in that, right? Mm-hmm.
Beautiful. Good. So she needs to think about rooting down through her shins, and then the rebound effect happens. This is called Virasana in Sanskrit, or Virasan for some people. Okay. Doesn't that feel good?
It does. I'm like,
you can just stay there, right?
Mm-hmm.
So this is really important for the knees. If your toes turn in all the time, then you're shortening the inside of the leg. If your toes turn out all the time, you're over lengthening. So why not find balance? Because it's really important that the knees have proper structural protection, to prevent any injuries.
We were just talking about that, how the knee is a hinge joint, and there's no muscle on the inside or the outside, lateral side of the knee, just those tendons that are attached there, and they're very vulnerable to us not having proper alignment.
Yeah, so we're gonna do another one on the knees, which will be great. So we're here. Yeah, that's great, thank you. So I'm gonna have you get out of the pose for a moment. Now, what I'm gonna have her do, because she also needs flexibility in the toes the other way. So this is, you should feel stretch when you do that on the top of the foot. Now she's gonna turn her toes, and let's see where she goes. Turn your toes, exhale, don't look for discomfort, and tuck your toes under. So I know what's happened automatically is that this foot has moved forward. So I'm actually gonna have you turn. Do you see how far forward this is compared to this one?
Yeah.
Isn't that interesting? This one is more flexible than this one.
Very much so.
Yep, which means that it's going to shift how you walk.
Yes.
So go ahead and turn your whole body to the side so everyone can see from the side. Okay. There. Oh, you feel that, don't you?
Yes.
So you might feel like you're breaking. You might, and that's part of breaking up, when your muscles have not been used a certain way. Oh, that's better. That's good. Now she's gonna sit. Tell me, you might need to. Hold on. Right back. Okay, go ahead.
Yes.
There. How does that feel?
Yeah.
So this is now working here and stretching here. How's the right side feel?
I'm really noticing the difference. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's really working on the inside there.
So we have her ears, shoulders, and hips lined up. That's nice. Belly button is in. That looks nice. Feels good?
Yeah.
So if you have tight calves, this is the version that you want to be in. We want to go where we need, not where we want. And we usually go where it's more comfortable for us because we like the convenience of life. Right? But yoga is about getting comfortable with the uncomfortable and breathing through it, backing off as you need. Moderation, 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 moderation. Okay, so that is your feet. Foundation. What kind of questions do you have for me?
I know.
Does that make sense?
It does. It brings everything. It aligns everything. It feels alignment, and always we're starting connecting to our feet, to the foundation, to Mother Earth, and lifting up from there. And it's so amazing, you know, as I work more with you to understand how we have to set that foundation, like with everything. We have to lay a strong foundation. You've talked about the house analogy and just laying that strong foundation and building from there. And really the quality of that aspect to be able to bring that up.
Okay, so when we get out of this pose, a lot of times people say, oh my God, this is gonna hurt. That's already attaching and making a mantra of it. The mantra is, oh my goodness, this is going to hurt. You are claiming that. So all you have to do is breathe. And you inhale and you exhale and you get out of the pose and you flip the feet where it's comfortable for a moment. And then when I want her to flip them again where it's uncomfortable, and then I want her to come to standing without attaching to anything other than riding the breath. Okay, Chica, so you're gonna flip the feet, inhale, exhale. Don't hold it in the jaw. Exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, sit back, hero. Yep, up, go, sit back into hero, yep. Exhale, good. Breathing in, breathing out. Good, breathe in, breathe out, rebound effect, push down, come up, exhale. Flip the feet, inhale, exhale. Now, I'm gonna scoot the camera back for a second. I want you to come to standing from there. Try to not use any hands. Inhale, exhale. Woo! Her feet turned out.
Yep.
Because it's habit. So we change our habits, and we do that with moderation. It's not realistic for us to think, okay, she's gonna be perfectly aligned today. No, she's gonna be closer to alignment.
Awareness. Definitely have awareness.
Inhale, exhale. Awareness. Nice. That felt more confident, right? So breathe in, breathe out, come into hero. Breathe in, breathe out. Good. So she pressed too hard on the knees. So she's got to do that again. She's just going to lift her knees up a little bit and then put them back down. Inhale, exhale, without the hands if you can. Again, too heavy on the knee here. That left knee, right?
Yes.
Yeah, you know why?
I don't have the strength in this.
Right, you don't have the strength in that side. The strength comes into the shin area also. So use the breath and try to get your right knee down first. Exhale, exhale. Good. Oh, I love this. That's so exciting. The idea is that we want to be quiet with our movements, like a stealthy cat. That's how you say it, right?
Stealth. That's right.
Stealth. Again, breathe in. Yeah, she's like, ah. You got it. Take another breath. Breathe in. Breathe out. Mejor. So the body starts reprogramming itself through practice. Yeah, and of course it's helpful when you have someone that's nitpicky like me to be like, do it again, do it again.
Fine-tuning, fine-tuning, fine-tuning.
Fine-tuning, she says it the positive way.
Fine-tuning, yes,
I
absolutely.
say it like the unsugar-coated kind of, but no. Fine-tuning,
Fine-tuning.
that's how I started it.
Fine-tuning my instrument.
Yeah. Oh, so it feels a little bit more broken up, right? Yeah, if we don't take care of these things and we baby them and we say, I'll do it tomorrow, tomorrow will be in 10 years. Do it today, do it now. You may not like it, you'll get over it. You get over it. Attach yourself to riding the breath, if there's anything. And it's inhale and exhale. The inhale, you gather the energy. The exhale, you release the energy. So I'm going to have you come up to standing and face the camera. Oh, yeah. Feels weird, right? I can already see the blood flowing differently in your foot, which is really cool. You might be sore tomorrow, good for you.
It's very exciting.
Yeah, and
New
think
awareness.
when you step that you are almost doing this action. That will make it so that you're not doing this action. Okay? And you spin it. Good.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so I'm gonna have you scoot back just a little bit more, and I want you to just stand like you're having a conversation. And turn, there we go. Okay, that's good. And maybe turn your toe out a little bit more. Yep. So if you have a tendency, I'm gonna bring this up. If you have a tendency to stand like this a lot when you're having a conversation, she's hiked this hip up. She's turned this toe out. So that means that she has a habit of standing. You see me? I'm standing like this. Yeah, turning. All of that means that walking is going to be, and this is exaggerated, is going to be more willing to do that because you've kind of imprinted more with yourselves. So when you're standing, stand like this and see how that works. It may feel different, but you can use your arms and stuff to express yourself, which is good. Now I want you to do that again. All right, so she is hiked up this hip for alignment purposes. Here's my ruler. Where is my ruler? Excuse me. Oh, I got my hair. Sometimes he grabs my butt. It's just crazy. Okay, so if I'm here, yeah, and I draw midline, her left side we know is overcompensating. Bring your head up. We want to be able to draw a straight line straight through the body. But we already see that her left shoulder, your right, yeah, is already higher. Her neck is out of balance. So when we look at alignment, we want to make sure that our head is floating properly and the shoulders are lined up. Like the collarbones. So she can still bring this one down. Let's see. She's going to lift up. Yeah. Better. Good. Her right toes have turned out again.
Mm-hmm.
So what I have done is I tell Victoria and Chris, I need you to correct me. How's my walking? And I can't get upset about it because I ask them. Right? You can ask your little guy.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, help me walk. Victoria says, Mommy, don't lock your knees. Mommy, don't lock your knees. Mommy, don't lock your knees. And it's such a friendly reminder. And it really doesn't annoy me. It really brings me a lot of happiness because I don't want to be in pain. I don't want my meniscus to be worn down. I don't want that locking to jam up into my heel where then later on I'm going to have my toes up all the time. So ask your family to help keep an eye on you. It's totally cool to do that. Don't get pissy about it either. What other questions? I'm feisty today a little.
That's good.
Yeah.
You're passionate. You're passionate about
Passionate.
helping people to build this foundation and alignment. It's so important to our daily connection, to our energy, to our aging process.
To the transition that we're in this world right now. You know, when I was listening to that Toltec philosophy, there's just like, don't be lazy. And in the sutras it says, don't be lazy. You know, laziness, negligence, right, is going to cause disease in our bodies.
And that can be, we've talked about this, maintaining a practice. In order to stay open, keep energy, keep propelling forward in a positive way, it takes practice, it takes maintenance. So that's where we can fall off of that. We've all felt that, and that's where that laziness can come in. It has to be consistent practice.
And when you don't want to do it, yeah, do it.
Consistent practice, yes. Stay in alignment, strong foundation, heart open.
So, alignment. Do you have any questions?
I don't think so.
No? Okay. So, feet. Take care of your feet. Every night I wash mine and I massage mine every single night. And I thank them for carrying me through life. What do you do for self-care for your feet? Yeah, super, super important. And as much as you can walk barefoot around in this world, do that. But of course, you know, you have to be selective because people spit on the floor and stuff. That's my mentality.
Go walk in the grass.
Go walk in the grass.
Mother Earth vibes.
Yeah. So thanks for joining us. If you have any questions, please reach out at irrespira.com. Bye. No, not bye. Donadago hai is how the Cherokees say until we meet again.